I get assurance from Zetwerk on a platform perspective. How do you do that? Because you will face the same challenge, what they are facing it, right?
Absolutely.
So how are you creating that value which is sitting there?
No, there are like Ganesh was rightly talking about credit, right? For us, how of course there is, and it's not very specific to textile and apparel, right? It is specific. It is common across
Manufacturing, yeah.
B2B manufacturing supply chain. Let's take automotive sector as an example, right? Where there are clear tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 systems that very synchronously run, right? Inventories get exchanged, current assets get exchanged very synchronously. So what we find, of course, we are a diversified platform. We do industrials, and of course we are into the textile space as well. What we see here in specific is, working capital can be there, credit cycles can be there, but the problem that exists in the market today is discipline and predictability, right? So when there is discipline and when there is predictability, none of the stakeholders in the supply chain need to solve for working capital. There are enough trade finance institutions, supply chain finance institutions. The banks will start coming to us. Why are banks not picking up supply chain finance? Because they see an inherent risk. And what is the risk they see? Discipline and predictability. Right? When there is such boring predictability in money flow in the supply chain.
A word today, boring predictability.
Yeah, boring level of predictability in money flow in the supply chain. Yeah. It is not everybody can take 60 days. The duration of credit is not a problem. Whether it's 60 days, then what happens is, when at such levels of predictability, then costs will come down, risks will come down, and the supply chain is going to operate in a very synchronous manner. The problem that we see today, of course, it is a problem. It's not, of course, I'm inheriting somebody else's problem.
Yes.
But what we are able to see is, for a small MSME, they do not have a credit underwriting function, right? They are not able to see a balance sheet of the company, whether inventory is exploding, debtor days are exploding. We are able to see through that and take scientifically appropriate risks and be that voice for the stakeholders at the back end of the supply chain, and strengthen this supply chain. That's the role that we are really playing.
Well, excellent. What should happen is the question.
I think there is a huge opportunity, and especially in India, organized retail is growing so rapidly, and there is so much and more that will happen and can happen for manufacturing in India. Sure. There is never going to be a point where people are going to not have enough orders, because we are growing. As a country, we are growing. We just started consumerism in the country. We need those spaces to be created by the government, which are compliant and which allow sustainability in a sustainable manner.
It's high time that as an industry, we should do forward or backward integration of the complete supply chain industry. In India has a very strong IT industry. We should use that leverage. We are not leveraging it.
Government policy has to be not exactly as per China, but very close to the Chinese policy, how the governments are supporting the textile industry in China. Transparency among all the stakeholders should be very clear.
The industry needs to scale up. Indian textile industry needs to be branded. Industry must adopt market-oriented ecosystem. Everything has to be done with ESG.
Can we consider each one of us as a software company doing textile business, software company doing garment business, software company doing brand business, right consumer, right product, right design, right fabric, everything, right? So I think, how can we bring precision fashion, precision textile, using information and data together and bring intelligence in answering two questions: what products we all need to make for the consumers, how much do we make, when and where we distribute. Three questions is all of us are working on. If we can actually do that, I think we'll create. And the last one, this is my wish, that India hasn't made a $1 billion brand yet. I'm saying brand, not retail. Now, we are the superpower of technology, and we have in-house manufacturing, which our developed countries don't have. If we have all the ecosystem, and we are powering the world of technology today, I think if we all come tech-powered fashion, and I think we have a future where multi-billion-dollar brands.
First ask from the policymakers would be more growth capital, for sure.
Yes.
Very warmly welcome the PLI's revolution that's happening as we see. But as we announce more and more PLIs, Let's blend in the sustainability consigns. What I mean by that is, when we are going to set up these capacities, let us also mandate certain ESG parameters to get the companies eligible for PLIs, right? So, second big ask is, of course, we talk about the RAP and the SEDEX and a lot of these certifications, but I dream of a world where there is a continuum of certifications that exists, right? So imagine a world where there is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Everybody wants to climb a ladder. Nobody wants to jump, right? So definitely, can we create a continuum of sustainability certifications which enable everybody report that they have moved from one level to the other
The
level?
needle has to move somewhere positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the third big ask is definitely the inspiration that I take from a country like Bangladesh is the level of advocacy and unification of industry is outstanding.
Thank you very much for the time, gentlemen. It's an honor. Please.
Just to take away,
Please.
95% of public company in the world have based their reports on ESG and CSR.
Yes.
We have to realize if you have to grow up, we have to base our
Yes.
growth on those bases. The business schools, most of them are focusing on circularity, responsibility, responsible fashion, sustainability.
Yeah.
That is the flavor of the future.
Absolutely.
We have to again base our growth on that. So we can say sustainable value chain analysis.
Yes.
If done, that can be a change. And digitalization. These two, I think, is my takeaway. That will give the three PPPs a different name.
Yes.
Priority, premium, and then ultimately profits.
Perfect. Yes. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But it's always an honor to have you.